To God be the glory for the privilege we have to gather together to learn from the expertise of some of our brethren. I want to welcome each and every one of us to the first session of our Special Tuesdays online teaching. I would want us to say a word of prayer because I'm trusting the Lord that within 1 hour we should be done with this session. To you, Lord, be the glory for great things you have done. Thank you because you are faithful. Thank you because you are a covenant-keeping God. Tonight we gather together to learn at your feet. Lord, we ask that you move in our midst. And for everyone whom you have proposed to be part of this teaching session, may we all be blessed. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. As I welcome each and every one of us, let me give a form of background to what we are doing this evening. By the grace of God, for us as a church, every year for the past 3-4 years, we've been having capacity building, and we do that basically every October. We have special teachings with a sole aim of helping us to achieve our God's given purposes and looking at diverse areas of life. For this year, our theme for Capacity Building Month is wisdom. And we are trusting the Lord that the Lord will grant us wisdom in diverse areas. Tonight, by the grace of God, we will major on real estate investment. But before I introduce to you our panelists, I would want to read from Ecclesiastes chapter 11. I'll read from verse 1 to verse 4. The Bible says, "Send your grain across the seas, and in time profit will flow back to you. But divide your investments along many places, for you do not know what risk might lie ahead. When the clouds are heavy, the rains come down. Whether a tree falls north or south, it stays where it falls. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If they watch every cloud, they never harvest." We don't want to be unaware that there is something the Lord also wants us to do if we really want to enjoy the totality of our being. And that is why, by the grace of God, Powerline Baptist Church this year is also coming up with Special Tuesdays where we have online sessions, we have experts who can share from their wealth of experience with us such that we can become better in diverse areas of our lives. And without much ado, I want to introduce our panelists today who will be sharing with us. The first person who would be sharing this space with me, of course, at the appropriate time, I'll be looking forward to our questions. We have our sister, Omotolani Adeyo. She's a dedicated real estate consultant with a passion for helping young individuals like herself and millennials to successfully navigate the often complex world of landed property investment. With a clear mission to make real estate investment accessible, understandable, seamless, and profitable, she is committed to helping our clients build wealth and secure their future through strategic property acquisitions. In addition to her consultancy work, she is also a content creator who educates audience on real estate related topics. Omotolani is committed to make the real estate journey easier and more rewarding for our clients, always ensuring that their real estate goals are being met. Please join me as I welcome our sister Omotolani Adeyo. Would you want to say good evening to everyone listening? All
Hello,
right.
good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Omotolani. We also have with us,
Can anyone hear me? Okay.
yes, we can hear you. We also have with us Mr. Taiwo Akingbeyin, who is also a real estate consultant with over 10 years of practical experience in the real estate industry. He has helped numerous persons within and outside the shore of Nigeria to secure their future by helping them secure landed property in choice areas in Lagos and outside Lagos. He demonstrates unwavering commitment and passion for real estate. Although he's a very quiet and easygoing person, but he's driven by dedication, professionalism, expertise. And the personal approach with which he handles real estate has really made him to, has made people to fall in love with his craft. Overall, he's highly experienced, no doubt, and we trust that his reputation will come to fore even as he shares with us his experience this evening. Mr. Taiwo Akingbeyin, you are welcome. Would you want to say good evening to everyone too? Move
Hello,
on.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah, good evening, great people of God.
Good evening,
I'm
Mr.
happy to be
Akingbeyin.
your presence this evening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, let us go into the topic. I think it's appropriate we begin by helping ourselves to understand what real estate is. And let me begin with Omotolani. In your own view, I don't want us to assume we understand so much about it. Can you just tell us what real estate is?
Okay, thank you, sir. So, real estate simply means land and any other thing that can be erected on that land, be it road, be it building, and any other thing that can be erected on the land. So, everything that has to do with real estate has to do with land. Although estates, there are different things that this land can be used for. It can be used for residential purpose, it can be used for commercial purpose, it can be used for industrial purpose, and the land itself. So let's say residential purpose now. Everyone listening to me right now is listening from the comforts of their home. That is real estate. Commercial purpose, our businesses, our offices, our restaurants, hotels, all of those things that are used for business are also real estate. Industrial purpose, we have production, manufacturing, like Dangote refinery, that is also real estate. Anything that can be done on that land is what we call real estate. Also, land itself, a plain land, like that is a raw land that is not developed upon, is also real estate.
All right, thank you, Omotolani. Even I
Can you hear me, sir?
guess, yes, I guess those who listening from the comfort of their cars, as long as their cars are driving on the road, they are also into real estate. Mr. Kingway, would
Exactly.
you want to add something to this brief understanding of what real estate is?
Oh, she has said it. Real estate is just all about the land. Anything being done on the land is called real estate.
All right.
Farming, agricultural work is also like a real estate because you are doing it on a farm. So it's all about the building, the raw land, and the for agricultural purpose.
All right.
So
Thank you.
that's what real estate is all about.
Now, earlier, while Omotolani was speaking, she began to mention some areas of real estate. She was saying commercial. I want us to talk about the types of real estate investment. The types.
Okay, like I said, we have different type of real estate. The first one is residential real estate. That is residential properties. That is where we are living. It could be family houses. It could be properties meant for rental purposes. Anything that has to do with you living inside of that place is residential real estate. Then, as I said, also we have commercial real estate. That is where we do our businesses, where we do our let's say restaurants, hotels, offices, shopping mall. All of those things are commercial real estate. Then I also said we have industrial real estate. That is where you use for production, where you use for manufacturing, all of those things. Just like Dangote refinery is an example of industrial real estate. Then we have land itself. That is land that is just nothing is done on it, just bought for maybe let's say future appreciation and all of those things is also real estate. Those are the four major types of real estate that we have.
All right, thank you, Motolani. Mr. Kimbenyi, I've always heard people say real estate is one of the surest way of securing the future. Why this assertion? I will want you to share with our audience. Why is real estate said to be the surest way of securing the future?
Thank you, sir. Real estate creates opportunities and also secure our financial future. It increases the value without any other effort. You can buy a land, keep for 5 years, just rest assured that this will appreciate. So real estate helps, it will hedge against inflation. In this time that we are now, that inflation, everything, if you put your money in the bank, you know that even after 5 years, you go back to the bank to request for the money. The value in which you're going to use the money for will be like meaningless to you. But if you buy into a real estate, put money into it, even without you adding any value to it, just be rest assured that your money is saved. And even for your future generation, to use land, buying properties like creating wealth. I have so many people, like I have a woman, my other, my first church. This woman buying land in Mowe. She doesn't have the money to buy in Obaria, buying in Mowe, buying in Shimawa, and now keeps selling. Like that, she makes her money. From there, she builds wealth. From there, she creates wealth, creates future, financial future. So that our future is safe with that. When you own land, anything under the land is for you. For instance, you know that some people get feelings, sound feeling from a land that you bought years ago, or even have now that you acquired. Sound feeling sharp. I know of somebody that till now she keep thinking because the land the land bought, now they get sound from sharp from there. And we know how much you buy sharp now. Do you know that some people also get crude oil? Before government will notice that this person is getting all these our mineral resources, getting it from before they notice the person has made his money. So one thing about land is just like it's a seed. It will surely germinate. It is
Mhm.
a way of creating generational wealth because it gives dominion. When you have land, you know that you have something, you have asset, you have something that cannot be stolen from you. You have something that your future, your generation will forever be satisfied or be happy with because they will never be broke again. Just like where I'm living here, their father was a Air Force man. He bought hectares, bought hectares of land. Now they are selling bit by bit, and the children are making. I can tell you that the children they are not even doing any other job than selling. Now, yesterday they forwarded a property to me that they want to sell one of their properties in K2, 3 plots of land, a complex. So it's just you just have to help the unborn children by investing in this land. If our father could not do it, we at this moment we must ensure we safeguard their future for them. Buy from this because I won't lie to you, you know, earth, God has created this earth.
Yeah.
There is no human being on earth again can add to it. So this land now, if God say, okay, I have like 100 this thing for Nigeria, nobody is going to add to it. So it's just for you now to make sure you buy into it, buy your generational, just make sure buy everything on ground so that your generation, the children unborn, will be so satisfied with you. And again, it's a powerful vehicle for wealth retention because your money, you just keep growing your money when you have land. My boss now has this thing, and he's so happy. He has some properties that he said he's not going to sell in 10 years because he has enough. You know, sometimes having meeting, he'll be telling us my boy will be the next unicorn. So it's just a way of keeping your your children, you are safeguarding their future already. So it edges against inflation, edges against devaluation. There's nothing like when your land devalued. It hardly happens. It cannot even happen. It cannot even happen because it also helps. And if you have ordinary land, there's no government cannot even tax you on it. There's nothing like you paying tax on land. So I don't see reason why we should not invest into this real estate. Because again, another thing is it does not expire. It can never expire. If you have it, you have it for life. If you have it, just ensure you do your documentation and to be yours forever. If anyone should try and encroach, they are just wasting their time. Because this thing is something that you can be rest assured that this is a future this is a wealth retention. It's a generational wealth. When you have it, it just keep dominating. Have it, the value just keep increasing. It will not depreciate in any way. Just all you need to do is ensure you buy at a good price so that the ROI you make enough return on investment on it. So those are the reasons why we just have to invest in this real estate. We cannot keep saying is a cost. There's nothing like a cost because your father does not have, but you just have to build generational blessings so that your children will be happy. There's
All
nothing
right.
like you can with just minimal amount you can even have it. If you cannot afford in Lagos, not in Mowe, just move to Ogun State. Ensure you have this thing for your unborn children and children.
All right.
So the
Thank you,
reason why
Mr.
we just have to
Kimbeyi.
invest.
You started speaking about the
Thank you.
next area I want to begin to look at. We have seen that investing in real estate is a sure way of securing our future. We can't continue to keep our money in the bank. The value will keep depreciating, but land will not depreciate. But for starters, what will you recommend as a minimum amount? I'm throwing this question to Omotolani to start this real estate investment. What do you think is a minimum sum of fund that one will require?
So now it depends on the location. Let's say like a place in Lagos now, you could need, let's say, 4.5 million, let's say 5 million. You could need that much to invest in Lagos. You are planning to buy land. But if you feel like, oh, I don't have this much money for Lagos, like he said, there are places like Mowe, there are places like Ibadan, there are places like Ogun State where you can buy with little amount and leave it to appreciate. I have properties in Ogun State selling for as low as 500K. I have in Ibadan selling for as low as 1 million naira, even Kwara State. Main thing is just to know, okay, what is the potential that this place is going to develop. That is the main thing to know. Once you can know that, okay, this place has future potential for development, just put your money regardless of the price. Like I said, Lagos is very, very expensive. So most people don't want to buy in Lagos. But there are other locations. There are other locations you can buy. There are lands of 500K, there are lands of 100K. But once we can know that, okay, this place is good, this location is good, is close to government projects, there are a lot of potentials in that place. Just put your money there and buy it.
Thank you. Let me come back to Mr. Kimbeyin here. We are talking about real estate, something very viable that everyone should go into. But at the same time, I believe there are factors that we need to consider. We've started mentioning it, but I want us to elaborate on it, like the location, among other things. What are the factors we should consider when going into real estate?
Well, hello, sir. So
I'm
the
with you.
factors, the first one should be location because you have to spot that developing area. You have to look at the infrastructure. What does government really have a plan for this area? Like Ibejuleki, where people are rushing into now. We can say of many things about it. Please, you see online, they talk about Dangote refinery, They talk about airport. They talk about Fort Mainland Bridge. They talk about so many things. The road from there to Calabar, they are also doing. We have a coastal road. So these are major factors why you should go to Lekki, Epe. Epe also link Epe from Epe to Ijebu, from Ijebu to I have people that there was a time there we have traffic was so bad, so much traffic in this Tomeland Bridge. I have a friend, he has to through Ekpe. He was coming from Ekpe, he's an engineer coming from Ekpe. He has to pass Ekpe down to Alagbado here that I'm living. Because do you know that he gets to his house before me? So there is a road already, infrastructure. So you have to thing is location. Expect now, you just have to have it. It's as cheap as any other thing now. If you can buy from a real estate company, if you move down to the village, you can buy from villagers because all these properties are still on freehold. Majority of Ekpe are on freehold. Government still see it as a rural area. They have a plan, but they still see that. So it's already as it is a rural area in government this thing. So when you buy into it, just know that you have to go and do your documentation. From there, run and do your documentation in Alausa. So it's a place to have. And you know now, even after even my company now, after Ekpe, we now selling place places not even in Lagos, as in it's not under Ogun State. You can call it Ogun State Ijebu because it's very close. Proximity very close. Just like where I'm living in Alagbado here, just 5 minutes after my business, you get to Ogun State. So people are now moving down to that toll gate. Ijebu toll gate. There is a toll gate there. After that toll gate is Ogun State. So as low as 500,000, you can get a land there and you should be rest assured that yes, you have made a very great investment because you have to the economic growth and high employment rates also those are the things you have to check when buying factors you have to check pricing anytime you want to do a real estate you should ensure the price so that your returns will make sense because some people just rush and buy they don't understand it if you buy in with a very high price before you make your profit take it take a time so you have to buy low you have to have that negotiating power you have to purchase negotiating purchasing power buy at a very low price so that you can make your returns.
All right. Thank you,
Another
sir.
thing if you want to invest we have so many things another thing is at first you have to educate about when you want to venture into real estate get a, the reason why anytime you want to just enter, you need a professional. Get a lawyer, get a surveyor, because those are the people that will help you out. Because you cannot just go and buy government acquisition land. We have government acquisition, we have committed acquisition. That committed acquisition is what you must avoid. Because the moment you buy it, that means you lost your money. So you need a professional before you can venture into real estate. These are the things you have to go and check in Alausa because committed acquisition are the ones for maybe for special purposes. Maybe they want to use it for school, hospital, for road, canals. You can see the places in Ajah side they demolished. Some people just rush, buy things, they did not make their findings. So anytime you are buying into it, you have to make your findings so that you don't buy a wrong property. Reason why you need a professional to do your paperwork. And also, anytime you are going into it, you have to revalue. You have to value. We have valuers. If you want to buy a building, you have valuers that can always negotiate, buy at a lower rate so you can sell have a good return. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Will Omotolani also want to add something to these factors? He has talked about location, government plan, economic growth, pricing, getting professionals like lawyers, surveyors, making findings. also getting professionals like valuers. But are there other things you would want to enlighten us to look at when going into real estate?
Okay. So another thing you we need to consider before investing is your own personal financial goals. Are you looking to invest for short-term purpose, or you're looking to invest for a long-term purpose? Let's say you want something you can just quickly get money fast fast. It is not land banking you are doing that way. If you want something that is just for short term and you have large capital for it, then you can go into property flipping. So I'm talking about, let's say, rental properties. You buy a property, you renovate it, and you resell. That's for short term. Let's say your own plan is just to enter into it, get your money quickly, and get out of it. But if you are looking at doing it for a long term, then that is when you do land banking. So you need to like consider that, okay, you cannot say you want to buy land now and you want to sell it after 1 year. That is not land banking. That is not real estate investment. That is you looking for Ponzi scheme. Because if you are buying land and you say, "Oh, I want to buy it, I want to sell it after 2 years," I don't even tell people to sell after 5 years. Because if you are saying I want to sell after 5 years, that means you are telling yourself that, oh, I might be poor in 5 years' time. I need to sell this property. But the first thing we should always consider is, what is my financial goal for this property? Am I looking to leave it to appreciate for a long period of time, or I'm looking to buy for a short period of time? Then another thing is the cash flow. You need to know that, okay, um, is the money going to be coming in regularly or not? If you want something that will be coming in irregularly, then you have to go into rental properties. But if you're looking at something you can just leave, capital appreciation, then you go into land banking. Then another thing we need to consider is the documentation. That is the title on the property, the documents you'll be getting from these people you are buying from. Also, let's say you want to focus on, okay, I want to buy from a real estate company. I don't want to do all of these things myself. You need to consider the reputation of the company you are buying from, because there are a lot of real estate companies out there, and some of them are scam. Some of them are scam. They are just there to get people's money and just run away with it. So we need to like consider, okay, what are people saying about this company? What is the track record of this company? That is, if you don't want to do it on your own, you just want a company that can um that you just buy the property from. They'll fence it round for you, they'll get your document for you, they'll be in charge of the surveyor, they'll be in charge of the documentation and all of those things. We need to check the reputation of that company. Also, like I said, also the location is one of the most important things to check. And you have said it all. You need to check the growth potentials of that place, because you don't want to buy a property for 500K and in 10 years' time it has only appreciated to 1 million. That's like a waste of money. You need to like check the location very well. What are people saying about this location? Just like you said, Lekki, like I always say, Lekki is one of the best places to buy properties right now. Is one of the best places to buy property right now. Lekki, Ekpe has two film city coming to that place. It has the government film city. It has the private film city also. It has Lekki Ekpe Airport. There are a lot of things coming to that place. So that's one of the things you need to consider: location. Then another thing is the property condition. Let's say you are looking to go into rental properties now. You need to check, okay, hope it's not that I'll buy this property and I'll be spending almost all the money to do renovation and all of those things. Then also you need to like inspect the property you want to get. Check, okay, this property, hope it is not water logged area. Like some people will just buy land. Some people might not actually mind, but then if you are someone that you really just want a dry land, you need to check the place, check how good the property is, and check that you are not buying a property that is meant for road construction. So these are the other things you need to check.
All right, before you go on that, one of our listeners will want you to give insight as to direction on how they can engage in land banking. How can people go about this?
Okay. So land banking now, it is you buying, it is you buying an underdeveloped land, like in a developing location. It could be bush, but you know that bush is a very strategic bush. You can see that, okay, maybe there's road construction, maybe there is an airport coming to that place, maybe there's a train station coming to that place. That is what land banking is about. It's about it could be 500K, it could be 1 million, it could be 2 million, any amount. It is you buying, let's say, a property, let's say 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres, and leaving it to appreciate for years without the plan of I want to sell it back in 2 years, I want to sell it back in 3 years, I want to sell it back in 4 years. So this is what land banking is about. It is just you knowing, okay, what's the growth potentials of this place? What is the growth potentials of that place? Then you land bank and you just leave it to appreciate.
All right. I'm sure she will be willing to give further insights if need be. But let me go back to Mr. Kimbeyi. I know there is nothing one does in life that has no risk involved. Would you want to share with us some of the risk involved in real estate investment and how best to avoid them? We have had.
Sir,
Um,
please come in.
okay, I said there is no business in life that has no uh, risk
Risk.
involved. So, what are some of the
Okay.
risks that are involved in real estate investment, and how best can we avoid such risk?
Okay, sir. We have so many risks in this our real estate. So some of the risk is just like market risk, location, negative cash flow, tenancy, major thing. Sometimes you buy into the property, you rent it out when you're doing residential property. So the person gave it to before you know it destroy everything. Even the amount paid is not even enough to repay. Financing also, maybe you get a loan from the bank. We have many risks, but the major thing is how can we mitigate? How can we avoid all these risks? Uh, First, to avoid risk and to avoid losing your money in real estate, you just have to do your due diligence, do your search with government, make enough research. At first, if you want to buy land, maybe I want to buy land in Obawale. You can't just rush and buy because maybe it's because it's cheap or because of you saw it and you want to negotiate immediately. You have to do your due diligence. Even places you don't know, ask people around about the land. Because sometimes, even if you go to Alausa, some search you will do in Alausa, you will not even know that that thing has a litigation. Maybe it has a court case. So reason why we always say do your search, use your sense before dropping your money most times. Another one is get professionals, lawyers, surveyors. Another way to reduce your risk is split payment. You know that sometimes if you want to buy something, especially in Nibejuleki, the way my boss, any other realtors does, if you want to buy, you have to pay in installments. You don't drop your money at once. Split that payment. When you drop that first payment, then find a way to take possession. When you take possession, when by taking possession is by you doing fence. My boss, when my guy maybe want to pay 100 million, do you know you will pay just 20 million first? When you pay that time you are taking possession, then you will now be seeing other family member coming out. What are you doing there? That kind of a thing. Then you will now know how many people owns this property. That is the trick about real estate. You must not drop your money at once. If you drop money at once, you buy it 10 times. So when you drop the first payment, take possession, call, we are start clearing. While you are clearing, you will see on Monile, see different people coming out, showing faces. From there, you know how many people that owns it. Thank God you've not finished your payment. So after that, that's another stage. You do your fence, do your this. Then when you want to do your paperwork, when you now realize that you have like 10 people, family coming out, that this is our fatherland, This one is from this one is from father side. From there, when you want to do your paper, you ensure all those people that are showing face, that are coming now, that this is our land, make sure they are so that they can all please attest to it, sign. Because by the time you are making your second or third payment, all those people must come together, then sign, go to the ballot house, put your hand, then from there you drop like, then you drop like 50 to 70% when you when all of them has gathered. So those are the way to reduce your risk. You don't, and don't make sure one person did not sign your document. The brother must sign, the sister must sign, the family members must, they must. From there, immediately you perfect it. You perfect your title. You have to go to Alausa because you just go to Alausa the moment you buy from Monile. Because if you don't do that, they encroach a lot. You know, most of our they're going for the back, be selling to other people. Going from that selling to other people, and you will know. But by the time you perfect it, you do the necessary things. Those people are just wasting their money because your you have paid the government, you have paid your money. So those are the way to mitigate it. Do experiment, do your paperwork, perfect the title, reputation, all those all other things like reputations that she has mentioned is also part of it. You can also do because Nigeria is a place where you do everything right and you are still wrong. So reason why you just have to do that those things to reduce your risk. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think there is something he said, and I want to reiterate that. He said, use your sense before dropping your money. Don't drop your money
Yes,
at
sir. You have
once.
to.
Take possession and do
Yes, sir.
due paperwork. Thank you for those very
Yes.
wonderful insights. Let me come back to Omotolani. Now, what are some of the documents we should look out for when we are, securing a landed property? Because we have seen instances where they will tell you, no, that's not the original document, this is that. Can you just take us through the documentation process?
Okay. So the first document you need to look out for is the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is very, very, very important. It is one of the aside your the titles with like Sabo, execution, government consent, and those things. Documentation, your deed of assignment is the one that is going to show that okay, this property has actually been transferred from the seller to the buyer. Without that deed of assignment shown that you have it in your hand, that means you don't have real ownership of that property. Another thing is the other thing is the payment receipt. The payment receipt is what you collect after you make payment for that land. It is an evidence that shows that you actually owned that land. That is, you actually paid for that land. Another one is the survey plan. The survey plan will show the coordinates of the land. It will show the location of the land. It will show the size. It will show every details that you need to know about that land. And when you intend reselling, survey plan is one of the most important things you need to have. You might not even have every other, but survey plan is just very, very important for you to. Another thing survey plan will help you know is whether you are whether the person selling to you is actually the real owner of that property. Another thing is to help you know that okay, this property, hope it is not in government acquired area, and if it is free from government ownership. That's another thing. Like my they will give you an allocation letter also. That's another one. That's another additional one to give to you to show that this property, this particular land or this particular plot has been allocated to you. So those are the five main documents aside the title that you need to that the property needs to have.
All right. Thank you for this wonderful insight. Let me come back to Mr. Kimbenyi. Earlier, you were talking about areas you were saying Lekki, When you begin to look at Lekki area now, the thing, the cost has gone a little bit up. You've talked about the area of Ekpe, where we can, get maybe as low as 500K. But how do we go about this thing so that we will not fall into the hands of Omonile who will continue to deal with us? As you are talking about that, I also want you to talk about areas of very high potentials. I know there are lots of people who are listening to us and who will also listen to this hereafter who may not be resident in Lagos and its environs. I will also want us to look at the area of Ibadan and its environs, areas we can consider places of high growth potential.
All right, sir. Thanks, sir. I think I mentioned the risk earlier on. So the most important thing is just to have this property. You know that even if you cannot afford places like Ibejuleki, you can afford Ogun State E4 here. Very soon, I'm telling people E4 will boom because I read last time that they have approved Oshodi to Abeokuta road. So I think by the time they finish that road, that place will be very, very okay. And people have started buying into Ogun State already. But because of that road, people are not selling. If my boss has an interest, but he's not selling yet, he said he wanted to do that road. So I will advise people to start moving down there, move to Papa. I have a friend that he has hectares of land in Papa. So those for Epe Ijebu Road, it is just lucrative. You just have to just ensure that you meet with, if you want to buy like hectares, many land, you are not just buying one plot. The best deal is to also go through the Bale or go through. We have some people that are like agents. Even me, my boss is an Igbo man. He can't go directly. He has a middleman that do all these things for him. Anytime you want to buy any real estate, buy into any land, you call the middleman. Alpha, Toyin, I want this thing. How do we go about it? That one we just give him, he guide him. That's why you need a professional that guides you anytime you want to buy into things. And before you drop your money, as I said, make sure you pay in installments. Don't drop everything. If you drop everything at once, then that means you are going to buy two, three times. So those are the things you just have to do before making full payment.
All right,
And
thank you, sir. Let me come back to
most
Motolani.
times,
It seemed like your catchment area is around Ibadan. Will you want to talk about areas of high potential in Ibadan and its environs?
Okay, so I'll start by talking about some indicators for us to know areas with high growth potential. The first thing is anywhere there is like university or let's say a college of education or polytechnic, there's no how those places will not develop. Even if it is 20 minutes to the university, it will definitely develop. Maybe not now, maybe in 5 years time, maybe in 10 years time, maybe even in 15 years time, it will surely develop. Just like we have in Epe, let me just start with Epe also. We have schools like Yabatek, we have schools like Augustine University. All of these schools will make all of that place develop because schools will surely increase flux of people into that area. Another indicator for growth potential is road construction. If government is planning to do a particular road, before they start doing it, that's an indicator for us to just pack our money and invest in that kind of location. Even if there's no sight of human in that location, just buy it because in 2 years, 3 years time, people will start moving to that. People want to start putting money in that place, and these things, people going to that side will make that place appreciate very, very fast. Another thing is government projects. Government projects like airports, any of these things. Once we hear on the news that they are planning to do a particular project in this place, government is planning to let like Ibadan now. the government is planning to renovate their airport. That is an indicator for us to just pack our money to Ibadan. Anywhere close to the airport, let's say 30 minutes close to the airport, 30 minutes close to the airport, that is an indicator to buy properties there. In Ibadan now, we have Ido, we have Monia, these two places. In Monia now, we have the Monia train station. Also in Ido, we have Omi Hadjo train station. These things there will make properties in that area appreciate. Also in Ido, there is a road construction that started last year. So although Ido is actually very popular because I heard from the people that they have very like, but people move to that side. But once they started hearing that, oh, the government is planning to start construction of road there, real estate companies started moving there. Every other people also started moving there. Although it is still bush, but people are buying. The roads there is very good. So these are different indicators. Like I said, also universities. I have property selling in Kwara State around Kwasu. Kwasu right now, it is not it is not in a very big community. It is a big school, but it's not in a very big community. So in that kind of place, people will surely need hostels. Students will surely need hostels. So investors going to that kind of place, building hostels there, it will give them rental income, or buying land and just leaving it to appreciate for, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, and reselling it to people. That alone will make your money increase in value. So schools, road construction, private businesses, government projects, these are the indicators that, okay, this particular is going to appreciate. Because once people start, businesses will come to that side. There is no how. Once they know there's university there, businesses will come to that side. Once they know that there's an airport there, people want to build hotels. People want to bring their business to that side. People, some people be like, oh, why should I buy property close to Dangote refinery? Won't I inhale all of those things? It could be 20 minutes, it could be 30 minutes from Dangote refinery. People working in Dangote refinery will need where to stay. They will surely need where to stay
And they will pay good money.
when they start working there. And they will pay good money, exactly. They will pay good money. Need where to stay. Once the airport starts functioning, people flying will need where to like sleep per night. That's where investors come in. That's where building hotels come in. Those people working in that airport also will need where to stay. So all of these things is, once we hear this kind of things happen, this will get us your money and put your money there, even if it takes 15 years for it to appreciate. So our banana, oh, we could say that, okay, the value of that money then was actually high, but then it is not as high compared to now. There was a period Ada was selling for less than 1 million naira. Smart investors then took their money, invested in that kind of location. There was a time that was selling for little amount of money. Smart investors too took their money there and invested in that kind of place. My dad was telling me how he got his where our house is for 15,000 naira or so, 50,000. Although it is huge money then, but looking at the value right now, it is high. So all of these things are what we need to like consider before investing. Like I said, Ibadan is actually a very good place. Ogun State, if you don't have money for Ekpe, there's Ogun State Ekpe. That's also a very good place to invest. All of these developments will get there. There is no how. The only thing you have to do is just be patient and work with time and invest very early enough.
All right, Omotolani, let me slow you down a little bit because we have a little more time to spend on this space together. Uh, People have started dropping questions on Mixler. If you have question and you're on Telegram, you can click on the comment section. We will pick up your question as well. One of the questions we have, and I want Mr. Akingbenyi to respond to that. He said you should help with comparison between real estate agents and buying directly from Omonile. When we weigh it side by side, which one would you recommend? I know you work with a real estate agent company. I know you would not want to talk down your company, but weighing it side by side, which is the best way to go?
Well, when we talk about security, buying from a real estate company is more secured. It's more secured to me because when you buy, they know that there's something binding them, you and them together. They give you contract of sale, they give you deed of assignment. If they take you to court, you have no choice. You just have to provide their property. But we buy directly from Omonile. I heard about I heard a story yesterday from Alibaba. Alibaba said he bought a property. He gave that Omonile money. The man don't know that he's using a camera, very small camera. I don't know the name they call it. A pen, like a pen camera. He has a pen camera. He was doing that negotiation. When he was doing the signing that contract, the Omonile denied that he paid him. He bought places, bought Ibejule, he paid. The Omonile denied, but thank God that he has that camera in him because he went with the camera. Now went to the former commissioner of Lagos. That was where they played the video. When they played the video, let's started crying, started begging. Those are so. Tell me, if he does not have that, that means he lost his money. So he said, if not that his wife told him to go with that camera, he wouldn't have done that. So the camera helped him secure his money, get his money back. And they said, and they have sold it to another person, they place, they want to take him to another place. He said, no, he wants that place. And the I said they jailed him immediately because he was lying, wanted to deny the money. So those are the risks involved. The reason why I said anytime you are going there, you have to just do your due diligence. I remember when I went to buy into this place, I I I was videoing that man. The Omonile now told me that what's the meaning of this? Why are you putting camera on me? Today I have the video with me. I videoed the guy before paying before because when he was signing my documents for me, I made sure I videoed him, I everything. Those are the things you just have to do when you are dealing with Omonile. So security. And also our own we also have our own issue. The real estate people. Majority of us we also do
Can you
telling
come
one thing
again
about
over
I think
that? I didn't catch that.
one of our own I can also tell you about our own
Okay.
real estate company. We sell beyond what we have.
Mm-hmm.
When you now sell beyond what you have, what next do you do? You can start looking for loopholes to deal with people who bought into your estate. That's why when you are buying from real estate people, ensure you read their FAQ very well. If you don't read their FAQ very well, because they have something hidden in that FAQ.
Okay. FAQ is
Frequently asked
frequently
questions.
asked questions.
Frequently asked questions. Yes. In that FAQ, they have so many hidden things there. Because if you default, we have a way of holding you when you default. So when you default, just know that we can take you to another estate. We do that in my own company also. I can't lie to you. So reason why when the company when they tell you you are paying in 12 months, ensure you pay before that 12 months. Because if when you default have a loophole, there is that loophole they're going to use. That thing they're going to use to hold you. So they sell beyond their what they have. Sometimes they give false information. They can tell you this place has an excision. It does not have an excision. Or maybe they tell you it has excision. The excision is still maybe just few plots of that land has excision. They will not tell you everything has excision. At the end of the day, when they will tell you to does not have excision, but you still have to perfect your document.
All right.
So those are
All
I
right.
would like to
Let,
add to
another
what
thing.
Mr. Okay.
Another thing you have to ensure when you are buying from us is hidden fees. We have some hidden fees. Sometimes they won't tell you pay development fee, you pay survey, you pay legal fee. So those are the things. And some people also, even after finish your payment, allocation to give you allocation take
Mm-hmm.
time. So those are the things you have to be careful about when buying from real estate. So why Munile people have their own estate also have their own. So those are the
all right,
things. Sir.
Omotolani, let
Thank
us
you.
have you.
I would like to add one or two things. Just like you said, there are some real estate companies out there because everybody wants to, just like Ekpe, now everybody wants to buy Ekpe, everybody wants to buy Ekpe. There are some real estate companies out there that will sell farmland to you as residential land. You would have gone ahead to buy 1 acre, buy 2 acre, without knowing that this property you are buying is farmland. And one thing is, you cannot build on a farmland. It is not after years, or maybe you decide to build on it, that you now know that, oh, so it is new farmland they sold to me. So we need to be very careful, because you'll be like, oh, the one this company is telling me about is too expensive. Then you see one particular company telling you to pay this for it.
No, let me add to that. Let me add to that.
Okay,
All
sir.
land in Ekpe, I can tell you, is farmland. All the land in Ekpe is farmland. Even if you go to Alausa, they will tell you the area. You just have to go allocation after buying it. All the properties, quote me, all properties in Ekpe is a farmland. You have to go and do the allocation in outside. That is the big truth. All the properties in Ekpe, few of them, it's just few of them that, okay, let me all, just few
It
of
is
them
not
that
all, exactly.
are not are not from farm.
Mm-hmm.
70% the land in Ekpe farmland. Just know that. Just
All right,
you go
let
and
us let
perfect your
us go to
document
another
after
question
buying it.
because of our time. One of our listeners wants to know the real estate companies that you represent or one that you can recommend. He's also asking that is it advisable to take loans for real estate projects? And if yes, what division of real estate has the least risk? You know, we talked about earlier about commercial and the rest of them. So looking at building resale, land banking, is it tenancy? Which of them has the least risk? So these are about three questions put into one.
Okay. So I'll actually represent Land Republic. That's one company I know that I can vouch for anywhere, anytime. Because one, so my own indicator of a good real estate company is one, the ability to get proper documents on their property. That's one. The second one is, are they actually what they say they promise? Do they actually do it? Like, if they promise that, oh, we are going to be fencing this old estate round, we are going to be developing on this estate. How long do they actually do it? For my company now, before immediately we put out that property for sales, development has started immediately. It has started immediately. Clearing of the site has started immediately. And after that, we'll make sure that within 3 to 6 months after, when the property starts selling, the first allocation is being done. When the property gets sold out, the second allocation is being done. And you get every of your documents when you buy from the company. You get everything, from your contract of sales to your deed of assignment, to your receipt, to your survey. Everything you get is from the company. And other thing is, all of the property we sell, it is all inclusive. So it is very, very flexible for you to pay. You don't need to, oh, after paying for land, I need to start looking for documentation fee, I need to start looking for developmental fee. Everything is all inclusive already. So the money on the flyer is what you are paying. And it is very, very flexible. You can pay for 6 months, you can decide to pay for 12 months. Most times 12 months will require more interest. You pay interest on, let's say, 20% interest on it. But if you are paying for 6 months, you are paying with no interest. Then the
All right.
second question, I can't remember.
No, it has to
Okay,
do
you
with
move
is it
to the
advisable to
side.
take a loan for real estate projects?
Hmm. Okay, I can't really say much on this, but I would say I would say it depends on the period the bank is giving you to repay the loan. That's the first thing. If you are taking loan for bank to do real estate, it's more be I don't think it is advisable for it to be land, because when do you want to repay back? Only if you have your own capital already, and you want to buy a property, renovate it, and sell it back. That's property flipping. You are buying the property at a low price, you are renovating it and reselling it back. I can advise that, because that's short term. But if you are looking to invest for a long term, I don't think bank will give loan for that. I'm not sure about that. But if it is just for short term, you want to build let's say 3 units house, 4 units, like all those island houses, and you already have the money with you, but you just need more money to fund that project, and you know that the property will be sold out within less than 1 or 2 years, and the bank is ready to fund it, then you can go ahead with it. It is very, very advisable. It is very, very profitable that way.
All right. Let me apologize to all our
Hello?
listeners that we are going beyond the 1 hour that we scheduled for this space. Just permit us, because we have a few more questions that our listeners have sent in that I also want us to address. Mr. Kingben, you want to say something? Will you also talk about which
Yeah,
of the
to
real
buttress that,
estate division
to
has the
buttress that
least
point,
risk?
are you asking about risk, sir?
No,
Or
yes. Which
where to
of
put
the
the money?
divisions of
Because
real
getting a loan, Abi,
estate has the least risk?
I think, yeah, I think now many people are doing Airbnb. There's Airbnb, they call it shortlet. Airbnb, you can get it and get an apartment. You can get a whole building. Just inside my house here, a young guy, rented the whole flat, 9 flats. He rented the whole flat and is using it for Airbnb. Airbnb is just shortlet, whereby you have like 1 room, 2, 3 room. We are entering into December now. Many people are coming back from abroad. Airbnb is what people are even rushing now. Especially, I'm sorry to say, Yahoo boys now. They don't stay at home. They don't even go to hotel again. And those are the guys that are even paying us so much in real estate now. They are the ones using Airbnb. If you see them most times, they will not allow us. They don't even. We don't sleep. They just be disturbing. Sometimes they throw party. That place is always busy. Because Airbnb is what majority are putting their money in Lagos Island. Majority of the houses there, you know that most of people living in Island, they travel out, their buildings, they are using it for Airbnb. Airbnb is a shortlet. It's just a rental, this thing, short rental. How do I put it? So whereby you rent a house for a day. They rent houses for just for a day. Take an apartment for a day. They pay daily. It's better than residential property now. That's what majority of our people are doing now. Airbnb, you can get a loan, but you just have to know about this thing. You have to educate yourself before venturing into it. You don't venture into things you don't know. Just inquire, study. Because Airbnb, one thing you do most is you have to spend so much on adverts. What is online? They book online. I have somebody coming. I have one of my family member coming from Imo the last time. He told me, please let me get Airbnb. He gave me like a location he wants it, not too far from Ikeja, because it's coming from him. So Airbnb is what people are now venturing into. That thing is you make very lucrative now. You make money Airbnb.
All right,
Shortlet
sir.
is just they call it shortlet apartment. So that's where I can really advise. And again, flipping house flipping or property flipping is another thing you can put your money into. House flipping is like you buying like a building that is not that, then you renovate it, make it good, sell it immediately. But this thing requires experience. That is what all these our developers are doing now. They buy building, renovate, restructure,
And
and
resale.
they put for sale immediately. So those are the things you can for short term. But if you really want to go into long term, that's when you buy land. Land is not something you get your returns immediately. It
All
takes
right.
time.
Because
That's
of
one
our
thing about
time,
land.
we still have few more questions I would want to bring up that have been sent in from our listeners. There's a question here that what are the steps and documents that are involved in getting a C of O, especially for a non-government worker who has no tax record? Who has no tax record? And how long does it take to get a certificate of occupancy? There's also another question here. You can speak on any of them for you both. And what is the difference between a state-owned land and a federal-owned land? And which is easier to buy and get documents? Because we've been talking about documentation. Also, is it possible to buy a residential land and after years, you personally build on it a commercial structure? Will there be legal consequences? Let's just speak to all these questions. I know some of these questions may need legal advice, but I'm sure you can also say something about them. This question goes to you both.
Well, I think Land Use Act of 1978 says all land belongs to the state government. Before now, federal government owns properties. Today they still have, but I think now they have given them that authority over properties in each state. Because what I saw was that land belongs to the state government. So for that reason, state government, there is something we call committed acquisition in every state. There's something that committed acquisition is what you must not go into. Committed acquisition. That is for special purposes like police station, free trade zone, airport, cemetery, canal, school, committed acquisition, no go area. Another one is global acquisition. All the property, 90% of the property in Ibejuleki are global acquisition. You have to want to go and do what? Do the normal thing by getting allocation, getting governor's consent, getting CFO on it. That's Ibejuleki for you. That's global acquisition. You have acquisition, no area. Global acquisition is what we now sell in Ibejuleki. After buying global acquisition, you do the necessary document. Majority of the real estate company, that's what they do. They take it to Alausa. From Alausa, you perfect it, you make it CFO, or you make it governor's consent. There's another thing they call
Since
freehold.
you've talked about CFO now, what are some of the documents required in getting a CFO and how long does it take?
Well, documents for you to get CFO is for 99 years. It is a certificate issued by state government to give you, to lease a land for you. So the documents, you need a tax. Because one thing they ask is tax certificate. They want to see your antecedents, how you have been making payment, how you've been making. So one thing they require most is your tax certificate. How have you been paying your tax? So most times, anytime you want to go and do this thing, my boss just called me, Taiwo, Alpha, this tax something will affect your tax before you go into it. Another thing is that it takes time to get your CFO. But Nigeria that we are, in less than 4 months, 3 months, you can get. Or if you want to follow, if you want to now form, then you want to follow the due process. Then 1 year you are still on it. That's around CFO. If you know your way, if you are ready to bribe the officials, you get your document within in less. I can't say 1 month. It's more than 1 month. Less than 3 months, you get your document. But if you follow the due process, then I can't tell you when you're going to get it. That's CFO. And most of these are things you get. You only get CFO now. You get governor's consent. Governor's consent is just like CFO. To me, it's even better than CFO because CFO tells you that it's 99 years. After 99 years, you renew it. And something you are buying, you don't even know if the person who is selling for you has used 80 years out of the 99 years. So that is one thing. But governor's consent, any property that has a CFO, if you want to go and renew it, they will not give you CFO. They will not give you CFO. Or you buy property that has CFO, they will not give you CFO again because they cannot issue CFO on 2 names. So the next thing they will give you is a governor's consent. Maybe I own a property, I have 10 plots, I'm selling 5 plots to you. If you go and perfect it in Lausa, they will give you governor's consent. They will not give you CFO again because a land cannot carry 2 names of CFO. That's the reason you get governor's consent. It's the same thing. Any land that has excision also that has most of the land they give you governor's consent on it. So it's not necessary you get CFO. And when they tell you it's governor's consent, accept it. Don't don't even think of governor's CFO again. So those are the things. If you want your documents immediately, you have to do what? Make do something, bribe your PR so they can fasten it for you.
All
That's
right.
just it.
Almotolani, would you also want to come in on that? All right. Because of our time, I can see a few more comments here. Barrister Yolade is beginning to drop comments on some of the materials, some of the documents you need to get your CFO, and he has itemized purchase receipt. I'm sure there will be other things that we would also want to say on this. But let me re-echo his thought. Is it not the right time for us when we come together as like-minded youths or members of the church to pull funds together to subscribe to a legally binding agreement and invest in some high-yielding real estate business? If I can't do it alone, I can put heads together with 2 or 3 more people. And I'm sure we would be able to get sufficient fund to work around some of these things. I think that's a thought that should be at the back of the mind of everyone who has been privileged to be part of this teaching this evening. If you can't do it alone, you have like-minded people who you can partner with. I know a question was raised, we've not been able to answer that, but I'm sure we will provide insights in the course of the month by the grace of God about buying a land that is meant for residential purpose and in the future building a commercial structure on it. I'm sure there will be some legal consequences that they will need to work around. I'm not a legal person, so probably we'll need to bring in a legal person to help us clarify some of this. But in light of all that we have said and listened to this evening, I think it's time for us as youths to begin to have a foresight for the future. Begin to think of areas that you can invest into as regards real estate. Omotolani works with Land Republic. I know Mr. Kingbeyi consults for my own homes. I'm sure they will be willing to share their contacts. We may not share the contacts online this way, but you can reach out to us. We will connect you with them, and I'm sure they will help you in whatever way they can. Whatever counsel you need will be made available to you. Also, I'm told that some of the materials, the documents you need for your C of O is a survey plan, the location map, a passport photo, land information certificate, and tax certificate. Some of these things will be very resourceful if you get your C of O. But also, if we have to bribe our ways to get our C of O in a very short period of time, that tells us the complexity of the corruption that we have in our system. But as children of God, I believe we can also stand for Christ. We can always stand for Christ. The Lord helping us to go about getting all we need as much as possible. Let me just try to draw the curtain this evening by appreciating Omotolani Adeyo for being part of this space. Thank you for sharing with us from your wealth of experience. We also thank Mr. Kingbeyi sincerely for sharing with us. On the flip side, I don't know Mr. Kingbeyi can speak for this long. So we thank you for coming up to share your knowledge with us. We are very grateful. And thank you to everyone who has also been part of this space. By the grace of God, we'll be coming up again next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday, we'll be having a talk on stress management. We'll be having our medical personnel who will share with us from their wealth of experiences too, as to how we can manage our health, even in a challenging time as this. So this is where we will draw the curtain for our session today. We've talked about real estate investment. Don't just be a listener. make sure that you begin to act based on what you have listened to. You can start from anywhere you have the capacity to. You may not be able to get at Ibejuleki. You can get around Ogun State, around Ibadan, just like it has been advised in Mania and the rest of them. It is my prayer that the Lord will help us all to continue to enjoy His blessings even as He brings them our way. Don't forget, this month for us is a month of wisdom. The Lord will be sharing practical wisdom with us, just like He has did this evening. And as we put them into practice, I know our lives will become better. So once again, Mr. Kingbenny, would you want to say goodbye to our listeners as well as Omotolani?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the privilege, sir. I really appreciate. And lastly, I want to advise my people. You can also buy into Acton land. We have cemetery in Acton. I have people who bought into Acton cemetery. You buy at a very low amount and you start doing this thing because people die every day. That's another way of making money. So I just want to ship in that you can also buy cemetery. They do that. Another thing you can do is joint ventures, as you have said. Joint ventures, when you see building just lying down, nothing is happening, you can ask for the owner, see the owner, do a joint venture, sir. I can develop this place for you. I can do one or two things. You can buy a repurpose. Another major thing I want our people to go into, if you have money, is go for Airbnb. Thank you so much, sir,
All right.
for
I
this
was actually
privilege.
laughing when you were talking about buying cemetery land. Omotolani, will you want to say
Yes, sir.
something before we close?
Okay, thank you everyone for joining. I hope you've learned one or two things, and I hope we also take these things into practice. As Pastor said, we are youth and we ought to start investing from now on. Whether your budget is high, whether it is low, let's find something that works with our budget and start investing in it. So I have some inspections this Saturday. So if you're interested in any property in Lagos, we have property in Epe and we have property in Ogun Epe. I'll be having inspection of property this Saturday. So if it is something you are interested in, you can reach out to me and I'll just book an inspection for you to get to see what Epe looks like and development coming to that side. That's all I have to say, sir.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for being part of this. Lord, we commit your people into your care. Even as we thank you for the lives of our facilitators whom you have used, we pray you prosper them in their chosen field. The Lord will continue to help you in the name of Jesus. You will not fail, you will not falter. The Lord will grant you great success in Jesus' name. And for everyone who has been part of this, I ask that the Lord will shower you with his blessings. The Lord will fill your pockets with all you need, even to excel financially in the name of Jesus. May the blessings of the Lord be upon us all, even now and forevermore. Amen. Once again, thank you for being part of this session. See you again next week by the grace of God. Bye bye.